Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Can hear my voice is going. I've already done 2 lives today. Luckily, I don't have to talk much during this interview. During this stream. You'll be glad to hear. You probably think, no, thank God for that. Because what we're going to talk about tonight, of course. Oh, did I say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. So it feels like a very cold world at the moment. For those of you who don't know, my name's Vicky Marie. I'm in mainland Spain. It's very cold. It's only 11. What you start barking now for? Best stop. It's very cold. It's 11 degrees, which is warmer than, I think it's only 11 degrees according to my computer, because I've actually got a heater on in the house. It's actually a lot colder than that. It's been raining all day. It's been really strange weather for Spain. But it's right, really. It's cozy. You know, it's nice to get cozy in the house because Christmas is coming. Like to get that cozy feeling. Don't want it to be sunny. But anyway, so last night I streamed. We saw the first part of the interview with Ayub Qassim, who is the guy that Jay Slater, which was a big case, wasn't it, over the summer? Poor Jay, 19 years old, was on his first holiday abroad, and something happened to Jay, the official version, and some people don't believe it, some people believe it, is that he was trying to make his way back from this guy's place that we're going to look at today, he'd gone back to his Airbnb up in the mountains in Masca that night back in July, and then in the morning decided he wanted to get back to his apartments. Set off walking, and it feels like he tried to take a shortcut through very difficult terrain. Probably wouldn't have looked like that difficult when you first looked at it, but then when you go into it, it is. Anyway, that's the official version, if you like. And Jay was missing for 2 weeks. I think it was about 2 weeks, where everyone was searching for him, and finally, unfortunately, his body was found in a ravine, and he had injuries consistent with a fall. And that was the autopsy. But I think there are still unresolved things about the autopsy. It's not quite finished. The case is not quite closed yet. And then, of course, we've got to have an inquest because Jay is from Accrington in Lancashire. His body was brought back for burial. But I think there are still some, I don't know how to say it with any other way, but maybe there's some things that have to be brought back still. And we watched Jay's funeral. It was very emotional, very sad when a 19-year-old, has their life cut short like that, isn't it? And so the questions still remain. A lot of people still thinking that something untoward happened to Jay. It wasn't just a simple accident. Some people thinking that the guy that we're going to look at in the interview today, Ayub, had something to do with it. Other people think it was an accident. It's nothing to do with Ayub. It was just one of those, mad nights. And unfortunately, Jay chose to sort of try and find his way home and didn't realise just how difficult it was. This is the situation, or the background. And last night so for the first time, Ayub has chosen to do an interview, answer questions about that night. We found out last night that it turns out the guy who's doing the podcast, a very good podcaster, I think it's a good interview, whatever else it is. It's interesting. And he has a podcast every Sunday at 12 o'clock. There's a guy, and he met Ayub while they were both in prison, because they both had, let's say, checkered youths that went to prison. And the presenter, he is a recovered heroin addict. He's turned his life around completely, and now he's a podcaster with nearly 80,000 subscribers. And, you know, he deserves all credit for that. So that's why Ayub agreed to be interviewed with him, because he trusts him, he knows him, he knew him from when he was young, when they were both in prison together. So we watched half of the interview last night, didn't we? And then I had to cut it short. It was like an EastEnders moment, because it was just really getting to the part that you could say that Ayub was talking specifically about that night, because they talked about a lot of things. They talked about what it was like to get arrested when you were 16 and do sort of 9 years in prison. Talked about lots of different things, about drugs, about all sorts of different things, and and then started talking about what happened that night with Jay. So it finished, it was like a drum roll finish. It was like, oh, to be continued. And that's what we're going to do today, tonight. We're going to look at part 2, and we're going to watch the second part. And let's get on with it. Instead of me waffling. Oh, I'll just say a quick hello to everybody. Hi, Laurie. Hi, David. Hi, Annie. Hi, Lorna. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Yvonne. A bit of cold. It seems to be cold everywhere. Cold everywhere, isn't it? Well, not probably where you are, Kelly. It's probably not cold. So again, like last night, so remember, there's just a few rules in the chat. Please don't mention other YouTube channels by name. Don't dox yourself or anybody else by talking about where you are or where you're going at the weekend. You know, don't sort of give out sort of any sort of personal details, please. And also, you know, whether you are sort of anti-Ayub or for Ayub, or couldn't care less about Ayub but think he's lying, just you know, make your comments, make your views clear, but just be respectful. We don't want any disrespect, because at the end of the day, Ayub is doing this interview and he deserves to be heard with an open mind, just like anybody does. And we also have to remember, he has not been arrested. He has not, the police investigated into it in Spain. Him and Rocky, the other guy that was with him, stayed an extra day to answer inquiries. He could be arrested at any point in the UK anyway. You know, the UK and Spain, they have an agreement. And also, he'd only just come out of prison the year before. So part of me just thinks, well, would he really have wanted to go back in? Anyway, we have to give him a chance, listen to him with an open mind, and then you'll all have your views that I'm sure you'll let us know about. Okay, so now let's have a look. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So I just want to remind you of the channel. It is the Central Club podcast. So go over there, maybe give him a subscribe, or maybe give it some of this. If you want to watch this video, or give a couple of other videos. He's got some interesting videos on his channel. He was very generous to me. I emailed him and asked him if he would mind if I showed this interview. He sent me lovely emails, very gracious, very nice. So yeah, thank you again for letting us watch this together. Okay, so I've got it exactly at the point where we stopped. And this is Cullen, the guy who... So the podcast itself is called Central Club Podcast. And the theme of it is they're not on the right, they're not on the left, they're in the centre. They try and do interviews and things that from a central point of view, not be too extreme in any views one way or the other. And this is Cullen, the host of this one, who he's Welsh. And of course, Ayub was in prison in Cardiff, I think, but in Wales somewhere. And that's where they, you know, met each other. That's where they came into contact with each other. So I'm going to carry it on from exactly where we stopped. We were, because the whole video is 2 hours 17, and then of course I every now and again interject, don't I? And we got more or less halfway through it, so there's still probably another hour of the interview to go.
And I'm not gonna be like, no, you're not going, you're staying. I'm just thinking, all right, cool. From what I can see here, you just told me, yo, we're going to jump on that bus. I'm thinking you're safe. You just sitting at that bus stop. No, he did say it's something about it's coming every 10 minutes, but I said, mate, it ain't coming every 10 minutes. Like, I've been there long enough to know that the bus won't come in every 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was sat at the cafe next door for a couple of hours before, smoking ciggies, working off my phone. Do you know what I'm saying? Sorting things out. So I know it don't come every 10 minutes, but the fact that he wanted to go, I'm not the one to fucking hold anyone in my yard, innit? If you want to go, you can go. I said to him, bro, like, if you need me, this is my green door. Do you know what I'm saying? That's it. Because, like I said, like, if I would have held him there and said, "Nah, you're staying," this would have turned into a different situation. Then I would have been accused of hostage. So, like, bro, like, at the end of the day, if someone's not looking like they're in danger and they're telling you, "Yo, bro, I'm going," what only thing I can do is offering them a lift bit later on, and then differently, someone might say, "Oh, why didn't you call him a taxi? Why didn't you thingy?" But and I'm telling those people, "Yo, you've just landed back home at fucking donkey hours, like 6:45 in the morning, and you got to bed around late 6, 7, and then at 8 you got told to move a car. No one ain't trying to be called in no taxi, bro. I'm trying to get back. Like, I'm seeing in my head, I'm just seeing my bed in my head. You know what I'm saying? So I went back to bed, shut the door, said sweet. I went back to bed, and then my boy rang me, the one I know him through, and said, "Oh, lad, like, my man's gone missing." And my reaction at the time was like, mate, I fucking told him I'll give him a lift in a couple of hours. Only if he waited. Do you know what I mean? That's you lot's problem. I'm going to bed now, bro. I said, look, your mate's sweet. Like, it's all good. Like, he come here in one piece. He left in one piece. I've done my part. You know what I'm saying? As a friend, because remember, the whole reason I did let him come with me, and I said, yo, you're cool to come, is because just a week before, 2 weeks before, the last time I was around, me and one of my friends got into a mad argument because he felt that I've left one of his friends left one of his friends behind. You know what I'm saying? So I've got PTSD from that anyway. So if you want to see that, I don't want to fall out with another friend now because I've left his friend, or he feels
He's got PTSD from that. It's funny how you know, when I know a lot of people don't like, but when I listen, maybe it's because I'm old and I just listen to him. He sounds like he's still a teenager, you know, the way he talks. And I think that maybe because he was in prison for all that time, it's like he's not grown up properly yet, has he? And of course, people these days, young people these days, they don't grow up very quick, do they? You know, when you think about my age group, it's like 16, that was it, you were out, you couldn't wait to be independent, get a job, get your driving license as soon as you could. You know, that was a different world then, wasn't it? It's like young people now, it's like they never grow up, do they? They don't grow up, or it feels like that.
like I've left his friends. So, and genuinely, that's the whole reason, one of the main reasons where I thought, you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely, like, it's about fairness and, like, do you know what I mean? And, like, you don't want to leave no one anyway, do you know what I'm saying, bro? Especially if you're cool with their people. Even if they don't know no one, you don't want to leave them anyway, but especially if you're cool with their people, do you know what I mean?
So, when you went downstairs, you said, "Oh, I laughed because I knew he was shitting." What made you feel that? Was it just the way he was acting? Did he come across?
And no, like, what made me feel that is because if someone buzzes the door, you stand up and open the door. You know what I'm saying? Maybe out of respect, he might be thinking, it ain't my gaff, I ain't just opening the door. That could be a different thing. Do you know what I'm saying? But that kind of movement, that's what I kind of gathered in it.
Sorry, there's something else I should have said. Is if you're coming in to watch this now, it is only just started, but this is part 2. So part 1 is I'll try and, in fact, I'll do that in a minute. I'll put the link to watch part 1. If you didn't get to see part 1, but this is part 2. So we're halfway through the podcast that Ayub made with this guy, but it's the beginning of this video because it is part 2, just to let you all know.
Did you feel like he was on edge for some reason with you, or
Nah, because I mean, obviously from like conversation, like from that investigating guy and all of that, and he told me like he had a knife on him and that, and that did kind of make me think, why you got a knife on you? Like, I mean, and from speaking to my friend, he made
What? So he said I was talking to that investigative guy, presuming means Mark Williams Twonk when he's talking, and he said he had a knife on him. So anybody heard that before? Did they find a knife on Jay when they found his body? I don't think we've actually been told exactly what he had with him, have we? Have we? I mean, officially, I don't mean what TikTokers have said he had with him or what YouTubers have said that he had with him. Have we been officially told by anyone exactly what Jay had with him when his body was found? You know, what was in his rucksack? You know, I don't think we have been told. Knowing the Spanish police, they probably haven't told anybody. You know, it's like, oh my God, trying to find out some information from them. There's no way that Mark Williams Thomas will have found out any information from them either. No matter if he says he has, he won't have done. So, yeah, that's interesting. So he's saying that the investigative guy, he says, said he had a knife on him. Did he have a knife on him?
messaged him as well during the night and went, are these lads sweet and that? You know what I'm saying? So he's obviously going through something in his own head. I don't know if through experience if he's had a mad situation with people or like obviously there's things that've come out, something about like thingy with some other guy from his area and something he got arrested for prior, but I'm not going to go into that because none of my business, and who are me you to talk about? Look how we started the thing. You know what I'm saying? We met each other in because of crime. You know what I'm saying? However you want to put it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here one to judge people, especially people that are not here. You know what I'm saying, bro? And in no way is my intention to come on this and say this or that or he was like that. From what I gathered, I can only speak from personal point of view. You know what I'm saying? And from what I know, and my pal did say he kind of messaged him to make sure, yo, are these your pal all right? Like upstairs, and my guy said to him, yo, come off it, bro. He's sweet. You know what I mean? And that was like a good 20 minutes, 10 minutes before he left. I don't know. You know what I'm saying, bro? But I do believe, though, and from the information that there was a lot of texting going on back and forth with these people. Because you got to remember, bro, like the only reason I'm in a situation where I am now is because he left mine and told them that he left mine. You get what I'm saying? And like when he was right, well, I never know. Obviously, I don't know. He's walking up the hill and that, but I'm kind of annoyed in a way. Like, not annoyed, but I wish that maybe even that woman, that Ophelia, could have said to him, she's driving up the hill. But she don't speak English, bro. And that genuinely didn't speak English. But it's not hard to say, hey, hombre, it's that way. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going that way. Do you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And when it did hit me, go on, sorry, you was going to say something.
Yes, just there's the cop who done the investigation. He said that I know the reason why Jay left the house, but I won't disclose it. What does he mean? What do you think he means?
I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
yeah, what does he mean? Well, Mark Williams Thomas, he doesn't mean anything because he's just stirring up trouble. Yeah, I know the reason why I left the house, but I'm not disclosing it. Mark Williams Thomas is always saying that, isn't it? Oh, well, I've got this information, but I can't talk about it. Oh, well, you know, I'm in this unique position. That's what he said. Well, I'm in this unique position, but of course I can't talk about it. Even Jay's mum called him out for that and said, you know, if you've got something to say, just say it. You know, he's such an idiot. He just like trying to pretend he's got inside knowledge that he actually hasn't got.
Even him and that, at the start, I thought he put my photo up and I had like a conversation with him where I was like, mate, because he was like saying, because I put my number, and this is the reasons why I might not have my actual number and use it as the Airbnb thing. Because journalists started calling my auntie because I've used her number as an Airbnb. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got a big habit of ringing people and saying, oh, I'm signing up for something. Give me the code that's just landed on your phone.
I've done that. Netflix accounts, Amazon account.
My auntie weren't happy, mate. She was like, why have I got journalists ringing me? Why has my number been given out? You just fucking asked me for a code.
I can imagine that, because I'll tell you what, if my son ever done anything wrong, I'd get bloody phone calls and whatever, because I don't know why he does that, but quite often he's done that, has to use my number for things, for codes, you know, they have to send your code to a certain number. I'm trying to think why he's done that you know, there was reason for it. I just can't remember what it was. Quite a few times with certain things. He doesn't do it so much now, but he did do it. So I can see that makes it. So then, of course, when it turns up her number, whenever they do whatever investigations they do, she's the one's going to get the phone calls. Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Do you know what I mean? So he rang my auntie saying, oh, if I don't come forward, he's going to start digging about and that. And I did bring him and I said, look, mate, like, you know what I'm saying? Chill out. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of did. And he said to me, look, I'm doing this for the family. So because he said he's doing it for the family, I've spoken to him under those reasons, under those pretenses. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, if it's going to make easier things for them, then why I've spoke to him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not going to withhold information, you know what I'm saying, from him. Like, at the same time, like, these same people will try and, like, even on TikTok and they're saying, oh, they're holding information, they're not saying everything. Yo, people don't want to talk because people don't want to talk about people's business. What, do you know what I'm saying? That, like, did they want you to go off topic and start going into everyone's individual business? Bro, that's not my business, let alone anyone else's business. So who am I to talk on it? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people might be arguing about things and someone might say, I clearly heard them like slag that person off, but I'll say, no, I ain't heard nothing, bro. Because why should I add more fuel to the fire? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes if you keep your head down, bro, and just get out of people's dramas or business and that, you'll be all right, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that is like the answer to, like, yo, maybe I don't talk about other things that don't need talking about because I ain't got no right to dwell in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dwell in anyone's, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a journalist. I'm not one that sticking my beak into everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so you get a phone call, yeah?
Yeah, I told you then I was like,
You feel like, you know, yeah, you've done your bit.
I told him to wait. Why did he wait? Like, that's what I'm thinking at the time, remember? And then after that, obviously it's like 12:01 in the afternoon now. I can hear my pal, he's live, he's on the phone, talking to the boys in England, telling about his holiday. He's chilling. And then, boom, randomly I heard the buzzer go off. And then he's like, yo. And then I come down and I saw Lucy at the door. And I was like, and she mentioned this as well in some other interview or some message. And she said, the first question I asked her was, how the fuck do you know where I live? And she's not lying. That is what I did ask her. Like, how the fuck do you know where I live? Because I'm literally in the mountains and you've just pinpointed where I was, like the exact thingy. And then she said, look, Jay, when he was here earlier, he took a snap of like thingy and there was like a bit of grass, like the whole mountain that had grass on it. And they were like growing olives. I don't know, growing something on there, whatever grows. And she clocked it from that. And and she said, like, the way the angle was, it could only be that. And in this Masca, there's only like as you drive up, there's like 4 or 5 houses in like bunches. So it's like, you can kind of work it out if you're astute. You know what I'm saying? And fair play to her. She is like, she was actually like, and she does get like a load of stick for everything and that. But she was like, yo, like front line, like, even later on that night when it's actually hit us, like, yo, this guy is actually gone missing fully. Like, he's actually missing. We like were not climbing, but walking around the side of the mountains. And she was like front line, you know what I'm saying? like leading us this way. No, we've got to go this way. We've got to go that way.
How did she get there? What
She got what post on Facebook or something. Because I asked the American woman, I said, "Who are you?" Like, she was with an American woman, and I was like, what's going on here? How do you know her? Like, what's going on? She said, "Oh, she saw him." Lucy actually said, "Oh, I posted it on Facebook," and she replied and said, "I'm in Tenerife and I've got a car at the moment." She helped. Fair play to her. So when she said, "Oh," after like I said, "How'd she?" Like, she didn't even tell me then how she found where my house was then. And I'm still scratching my head. But she was like, "Where's Jay? Like, he's gone missing and that. He ain't, like, since I was spoken to him this morning." Like, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Look, fucking, he was sleeping on that chair there, and his blanket and his pillow, like, the same way he was there, was left the way he was there." And I extra left it like that because I thought, hang on a minute, if this guy's missing, there's his blanket and his pillow. That's how he left it there. Do you know what I'm saying? That's my evidence. Like, but I'd still at the time.
did you think, like, this guy leaving at this time off his face in the middle of nowhere, there's a chance he
What is he weren't off his face as into, like, he weren't, like, let's get that clear. It weren't, like, it might have been off his face on them NRG videos 5 hours prior or 3 hours prior to thingy, but do you know what I'm saying? I was driving, so I was all right. But Rocky was sleeping and he was pretty much chilled. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I've got videos of.
sorry. So just maybe you could clear this up. What was the talk of the watch? Because there was a snap.
You know what? Everyone says all of this watch and whatnot, yeah? Like, me personally, I didn't see him with no watch. Do you know what I'm saying? And on that actual strip, bro, yeah, there's like bare Romanian guys, African guys selling fake watches, trying to offer you a fake watch, trying to sell you a fake watch, or like you randomly see two lads coming out of the beach all bloodied up because bare guys jumped them for, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it happens over there, but mate, he didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see no watch on him per se, you know what I'm saying? Or he didn't dangle no watch in that. So I don't know if he's like gassing to someone or whatever, but there were guys that offering people watches in that, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
It's
just giving
interesting.
yeah. Do you know what I mean, bro? Like, so you got to remember, because all these people say that. So, like, who's to complaining them? Who's lost their watch? Where is this person? Or, you know what I'm saying? Because someone would have been like, "Oh, at that time, I lost this type of watch, and that's the same type of watch." And I'm not talking just the name by name, color, serial. You know what I'm saying, bro? There's a lot of things that go to. So, I mean, people just like, do you know what I mean? Maybe he's boasting to one of his brethren and that, or because his mum, I read an interview where his mum was on, like, said, "Oh, he posted that in a group chat or something," and then everyone was like, "What you on about?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So on, like, the Sun interviews that she done in that.
Okay. So when you finally come to the realization he was missing, what was your kind of
Sinking feeling, bro. Sinking feeling.
But did you as well think there's something, there could have been foul play? Like, because obviously at this time there's news that he has had trouble back at home. Is there that feeling? His mum gets a text saying,
I mean, yeah, like, that got mentioned at the start, like, during, like, do you know what I mean? His mum got messaged that, and I was like, because remember, this got mentioned to me when me, my pal, and the Burning lot, minus Jay, and my mate, all linked up together and went to go looking for him. Like, do you know what I'm saying? This guy, and like, working out. Because naturally, I'm thinking, if he's at the bus stop and he's left mine, he must have gone down here to the right. You know what I'm saying? But little do I know that this guy has actually walked towards the mountain. I'm not comprehending that. You know what I'm saying? And I remember we was looking, like, just there, like, and it's all mad because it's slippery, there's bare cacti, it's muddy, like, do you know what I'm saying? We've got the torches on our phone, we're going through just shouting Jay, because we thought maybe at night he'd be able to hear us. Because that's when, like, during the day, that's when my pal mentioned, Lucy spoke to him and said, like, he's like injured himself or something, or he's in a ditch or something, or he got scratched or cut by a cacti. I don't know what was the exact scenario, but it weren't a good one. Do you know what I'm saying? Where he sent uh a location thingy to her. Do you know what I'm saying? That morning, and it's a thingy where like if I would, and I was thinking, bro, if I knew he was going on some sort of hike or some sort of walk, or I would have said, bro, there's a big bottle of water in the fridge. Why don't you just take that? Do you know what I'm saying? I genuinely thought he's going to be chilling at that bus stop, whether it comes for 10 minutes or it takes an hour. Do you know what I'm saying? He's going to be at that bus stop because he's got somewhere safe to. Then that bus would have taken him straight to where he wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the routes. So,
No.
yeah, bro, it's like you get like survivor's guilt. You feel like, yo, someone that was here with me 10 minutes ago, like, and no one's heard from him for like this, like coming up to 18 hours, like whole nearly 24 hours was nearly getting done. You know what I'm saying? And I remember and then going up the mountain, we saw some Guardia Civil officers.
Oh, I remember this right from day one when this was on the news. Obviously, I noticed it because it was in Spain. Also, because I come from the same place, or near to by where Jay comes from. And God, the first 3 days, really, even the first 5 days, I was convinced they were just going to find him. I just thought, oh, he's fallen down somewhere. He's probably broke his leg or broke his ankle. He's probably injured, but he'll get found. Be fine. He's a young lad. He can sort of stand the heat, and for a couple of days anyway. You could survive for a couple of days. But yeah, every day that went past then, really, once it had gone past 3 days that he hadn't been found and nothing been heard of him, when people were looking for him, and he would have heard them and shouted help at least or something. But after it had gone 3 days, really, it was starting to look pretty grim, wasn't it? And then, every day after that just looks grimmer and grimmer.
And from like Lucy started showing from the ping location, what was on her phone, asked his girl, he said maybe in that, and they were like, oh, look, we got this, and they kept like, because we actually flagged them off the road, you know what I mean? And fully like said to him, look, it's a really serious situation, man. Carl's been missing, man. Can you help us out? You know what I'm saying? So and then from then they done we left them to them, their job and whatever. And then the next day, the cleaners come now, and then people are like, oh, why have I got a relationship with the cleaner? Why have I got a relationship with the cleaner? I got extra. Then my Airbnb ran out that day, but through the cleaner, I managed to give her the cash and get an extra day because she rang the boss of who owns the thingy, and that to me, gratitude wise, like whether you do big for me or small, I will thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just courtesy. You know what I'm saying? She was the one that told me, look, like the next day that actually did leave, or the police have been around and they want to chat to you regarding his missing and that. And I was like, all right, sweet. Get me their address. You know what I'm saying? So they got me their address in the main office in Playa America. This was now the 18th. Remember, it's the next day now. And it's my birthday on the 19th. You know what I'm saying? So
it's funny listening to Ayub because he's a real London, he's got that real sort of Essex accent and everything's a thingy, and do you know what I mean? And this, that and the other. And when he says Spanish things like the Playa de America, it's Playa de America. It just sounds funny to me because I wonder how he got on with the Guardia Civil. I presume they had to get him an interpreter, or he had to get an interpreter. He doesn't speak a word of Spanish. He said in the first half he knows a bit of Spanish. He doesn't know any Spanish. So I presume he either had to get an interpreter or maybe the police provided him one. Some places do. I would imagine somewhere like Tenerife, in a heavily tourist area like that, they probably would have Guardia Civil there that speak English, I would imagine, but you just don't know.
It's the 18th. It's 10 o'clock at night. I'm sitting at the police station. It was a bit mad because I'm like, said to them, yo, I'm here like for the missing persons case. They were like, what are you on about? I was like, oh, for the kid Jay that went missing this morning. And she was like, yeah, it's already been reported. It's cool. You can go. I was like, no. I've been called in as a witness. Do you know what I mean? And they're like, yeah, no, it's been reported. I'm like, no, I'll have to argue. I am here to give a witness statement. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to proper fight to give a witness statement. So I was in there, waited till like 12 for the translator. The translator landed. Do you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I was just going to say, so he's saying he's got, but he's probably gone in there. They probably didn't understand what he was talking about. I mean, has he gone in there without a translator? Yo, I'm here to I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall. I really would, and watch these engagement with the Guardia.
She was like, do you know what I'm saying? They weren't happy about like one thing I could feel from them. They weren't happy about people saying, "Oh, Spanish police this, Spanish police that." Do you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, don't blame them.
I could tell that just from like the way they were speaking and that, but on a different.
Yeah, I've seen it a million times here with drunken tourists and things. The police get really annoyed because it's like, I've said this, there's a lot of people, there's like a load of xenophobia. It's the Spanish police. Oh, well, they're all corrupt, or they don't know what they're doing, or whatever. It's a funny attitude that the British have. I don't think that other nationalities have it. It's like I was in a police station once interpreting for someone else, and they brought these lads in. Funnily enough, one of them, in fact, it might have been Ayub because it was years ago. No, it can't be because he was in prison. But a lad very similar to Ayub and two other lads from similar area, and they'd been brought in for whatever. I'm not really quite sure what they'd done. And they were asking for aqua. We want aqua. You've got to give us aqua. It's not aqua, it's agua. And they're going, yeah, you've got to give us aqua. That's the law. In English, of course, they were saying all that, shouting and still sort of high or drunk from the night before or whatever. I don't know what they'd been pulled in for. And the Guardia Civil that were there, he turned to me and he said, "Oh, you're an interpreter, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Tell them to shut up, because if they don't shut up, I can't be responsible for what's going to happen to them." He said, they've just got to calm down, tell them. So I had to turn to these lads and say, look, you can't, it's not, the Guardia won't take all that, like you can't just say, they just won't have it, so you'd be mad if you tried to be disrespectful to the Guardia. Because they just don't put up with it, put it that way. So anyway, I finished what I was doing with my client and we went off. So I don't know what happened to them lads. They probably beat them up, I don't know. But, they had this policeman said to me, look, just tell him they better be quiet or I just can't be responsible for what might happen to them. So I can see what he's saying. He said he's getting the vibe off the Guardia. Probably people were saying all sorts of things to them. And that's why the Guardia got annoyed. That's why they got annoyed with Paul Arnott. Do you remember him? Because he was there shouting his mouth off, wasn't he? Look, why hasn't this search started yet? And take me off the list. And, and all this, like, they're not, they don't, the Guardia Civil do their job and they do their job well, but they're not like beholden to, they won't be made to do something that they're doing their job, but somebody trying to get information off them or trying to hurry them along or they're just like the shutter comes down. That's what it's like in Spain with anything. If you get arsey, it's not only with the Guardia, it's like Spanish people. It's just like, well, what are you going on about? And just when you don't speak Spanish and you think just by speaking English more loudly, you're going to get through to them, they get angry, just as you'd get angry. in Britain. You know, British people get angry when people don't speak English, don't they? And yet they don't seem to think it's a problem when they go to foreign countries. They think everybody should speak English.
One though, basically what I told you now, I've told them, but like into more detail. Like I'm saying, when you're in one of those places and you're trying to help someone to get found, any little thing that can help their situation in that sort of manner, missing persons case, I tried and helped them. You know what I'm saying? So I remember now I'm going to see my pal now.
Yeah, actually, Sue, that's a really good point. Even if the Guardia spoke English, they would be struggling to understand Ayub's sort of street slang sort of way that he speaks. So probably even when they got the interpreter in, there was probably quite a lot lost in the translation. You know, that's a good point because, you know, there's people, you know, I've had to translate. Sometimes you get someone from the north and someone from the south, they don't understand each other, and then you got people from Scotland, people from Newcastle, you know, in the same in Britain, and Spain's the same, you know, different parts of Spain, they have different accents. So yeah, I think you're right. I think they would have struggled to understand Ayub's way of speaking, even if they did speak English, because they'll have learned English at school, and he doesn't talk like you would learn English in a classroom.
And my actual pal, the one I said, my pal that I'd come from England with, and my pal that I met Jay through, and they were on the strip, like, and they were like, I was messaging them through the interview and whatnot, and I see them, and then them same ones that them girls that was out with us the night before from Nottingham as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they're like friends now. Do you know what I'm saying? Because most of them were like lesbian and that, so we weren't really on like yeah, well, I might have got in with their attention, like, yo, but they were like, no, we don't like guys. You know what I'm saying? You got me.
Now, I knew that. You know, I think this came up in the one that last night when he was supposedly waiting for those girls, wasn't he? And someone was saying in the chat, oh, well, he wouldn't have taken Jay back if he was waiting for a girl and that. And I said, I think he probably got blown out by those girls. It does sound like it. So it turns out those girls were gay. They weren't interested in him. So they're friends now, you know, they're friends now. But yeah, I think Ayub, honestly, I don't know why. I just get, you know, I think he quite thought he might be able to get off with them girls. And then it turns out they don't like men. So, you know, there you go. Oh, forgot to press play. Hang on.
I mean, it's one of those ones like, cool, you might have rejected me, but we're still cool. We're just vibing. Do you know what I'm saying? It's no hard feelings. We're chilling out.
Oh my God, I should be a fortune teller. That's exactly what I said. I bet he got rejected. And he did. I knew it. I just knew it. That's why he ended up going back with Jay. Sorry, I've lost the thing again.
And then I was telling them, oh, imagine fucking the guy that was here with us last night, like the other night, I mean, not even last night, the other night, fucking he's gone missing and that. I just come back from the police station and they were like, what? No way. Like, they couldn't believe it. Even they messaged me as well. Because you got to remember, at this time, no one knows my face. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not on no newspaper or no TikTok or no nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? At this time. It was like maybe 3 weeks later, there was like a picture of me dancing, like, and I had the band from the event I went to. It was orange. Do you know what I'm saying? And then people were messaging me because people saying, who's this and that? But it was Jay's mate had a snap of us all. Do you know what I'm saying? So then I'm getting messages from people I know and that, and then they're saying, yo, what's going on here? Like, why they got you and that on there? And I was like, I don't know, mate. It's like, so no, obviously I do know. I went, oh, it's mad. Like, it's a guy that I know went missing. And I remember because on my birthday, like, I felt deflated because I thought, yo, how can I enjoy this birthday when someone's just gone missing? Do you know what I'm saying? It's not. And I just wanted to see my family and that. And do you know what I'm saying? So I come back England at the time. And the first thing I told them was like, yo, someone's gone missing. And then a month's gone by now. And I went back to Tenerife in that time and done another interview, this time with the Police Nacional. they wanted me to, and then they happened to text me because remember I just left
Right. Now that's
in a hurry.
interesting. That's interesting because the Guardia Civil are there's 3 police forces in Spain. So you've got the Policía Local. They deal with, as it sounds, local things. Neighbourhood disputes, crossing the children to go to school. They do deal with burglaries as well and things. But anyway, then you've got the Guardia Civil. And they used to be like the armed police for Franco. So, all the police are armed in Spain, but they used to be like the military police. And they're a little bit more serious again than the Policía Local, if you like. You'd rather deal with the Policía Local than deal with the Guardia Civil. The Guardia Civil, they're a little bit scary, to be honest. Then you've got the Policía Nacional, and they're like the CID type, they're the more serious. They deal with more serious crimes like drug crimes or murders or anything like that. So if he got called back, so that's interesting, because that's the first time I've heard that as well. So he did get called back for a further interview with the Policía Nacional, who are the more serious. I mean, the Guardia Civil are serious, but, the Policía Local, you can't get much more, serious than that. So what I'm trying to say is, it sounds like they were taking it seriously. They were investigating into it properly. And I think people, they definitely have investigated this case, and they found that there's nothing to answer, or at least so far. You never know. I mean, they could turn around tomorrow and arrest Ayub, for all I know. Whatever's going on with the Policía Local, nobody will know anything about it until, if they are planning on arresting someone or thinking that something has happened. Nobody will know anything about it until it actually happens, because that's the way they operate. They operate in complete secrecy. That's what they do. But it's interesting that it got called back by the Policía Nacional. So you can rest assured, it definitely has been looked into properly.
Because I didn't want to spend my birthday there, but I had to get some clothes and stuff that I left behind. And during that time, luckily, then Police Nacional happened to text me on my WhatsApp and said, "Oh, we want to can you come in for another interview?" I don't know. There's like different police forces in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But either way, I just done it again, because remember, bro, I ain't got.
Were they different? Did they have a different approach?
No, they were cool, bro. Like and it was a police interview where it was like, you got to remember, because before all of this, they already know the guy's left, man. They already know, this is not like we're dealing with a suspect, but we're dealing with a witness sort of angle. Do you know what I mean?
Do they feed in to any of these conspiracies or the information they're given? Are they asking any of these questions?
Nah, like, I mean, they mentioned the Rolex and that. Like, what was that about? What's he on about? But same thing. And then, because they are from there and they know loads of people running around with fake ones, and you know what I'm saying, or they'll put a fake one in your hand and take your real one. I don't know, bro. Like, some of these pickpockets, bro, are well versed in what they're doing. That's why I always wear a side bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I know everything.
It's very interesting, that, isn't it? Because, the thing is that maybe they hadn't found Jay's phone then. Like you say, Yvonne, the timelines are always so confusing, aren't they? So when he went in to be interviewed again by the Policía Nacional, the more serious or type police, I don't know if Jay had already been found then, or if he was still missing. But you can bet that when they did find Jay, his phone will have been analysed, just like it would have been analysed here. All that, I'm sure, may still be an investigation going on. The problem with the Policía Nacional is you just no idea, because they're never going to give anybody any information. So you don't know. They could still be investigating it for all we know. They literally are that secretive.
Thing that I own at the time on me, to go out with, in my bag. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that would do. But pretty much it was the same sort of vibe, same sort of interview. I had the same translator. Do you know what I'm saying?
And it's a month on. You're getting more scrutinized. The police want to see you. What do you think has happened to Jay at this moment? What have you come to?
I've already seen the police now. I've already seen the police, and I wasn't getting scrutinized then, but I got scrutinized a month later, exactly a month later. That's when my face come on Good Morning Britain, and these same Nottingham lot sent to me, said, "Oh, what the fuck are you?" I had everyone telling me, "What the fuck are you doing on the TV?" And I'm thinking, wow, because I'm already thinking, this guy that I met through my guy, literally 3 days ago, is all over the TV. What the fuck is this? Like, do you know what I'm saying? At that time, you can't comprehend. You think, bro, like, what is going on?
So what did you think? What did you think happened to Jay?
Bro, like, it was like maddest of the maddest. Like, and I say this and I say this always. I believe like what they said, like, yo, he fell off the thingy. Do you know what I'm saying? Whether someone pushed him or I don't know that. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's so mad that people could be saying, oh, this and that happened. And you know what's mad? Like, I can't say 1,000,000% they're right or they're wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you can prove someone's fell and hit something, but what you can't prove what's happened prior to that. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to make assumptions, say this happened or that happened, because the moment he said I'm going, bro, and said I'm off, and I shut my door, that's me out of this whole. Do you know what I'm saying?
And his mates who you knew, the mutual friends, how are they acting towards you? Were they cool with you? Did they think he was?
Like, they were like, don't get me wrong, like the one who felt it the most was Lucy. Do you know what I'm saying? And like through like all that high pressure and all of that, and like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, she might have said something that was out of line, and I was like, what the fuck you on about? That's not fair. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And maybe you had like a little tiff, but other than that, everyone can see in plain sight, like, yo, that you can't change that with your power. Like, within my power, I can't change whether a guy decides to leave or not. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Unless I start using force, but there's no need for force in that sort of situation. Do you know what I mean? And because you're thinking he's on that bus stop and he's waiting for that bus to come. If that's the last image he's seen of someone, how am I meant to know that he would decide to walk up that way when the door was shut 10 minutes later? Do you know what I'm saying? How can I answer those sort of questions? Because I wasn't there to, do you know what I mean? And I don't want to speculate. That's the word. Do you know what I mean? Speculation sometimes can lead to like some dangerous roads. You know what I'm saying?
So you found out, we all find out Jay's past. Did you at all speak to his mother or father during those times of the inquest? The search.
Almost. I didn't find out he passed, like, because you remember they posted me on the news. I remember I was out that night with a couple of friends, and then I remember and they asked me for a comment.
Sorry. Hey! Stop it. Stop. I'll put you in the back. Right. Come here. Bad girl. Sorry. I'll just rewind that a little bit. She might have missed what he said then.
Using force, but there's no need for force in that sort of situation. Do you know what I mean? Because you're thinking he's on that bus stop and he's waiting for that bus to come. If that's the last image he's seen of someone, how am I meant to know that he would decide to walk up that way when the door was shut 10 minutes later? Do you know what I'm saying? How can I answer those sort of questions? Because I wasn't there to, do you know what I mean? And I don't want to speculate. That's the word. Do you know what I mean? Speculation sometimes can lead to like some dangerous roads. You know what I'm saying?
So you found out, we all find out Jay's past. Did you at all speak to his mother or father during those times of the inquest?
The
search.
Almost. I didn't find out he passed, like, because you remember they posted me on the news. I remember I was out that night with a couple of friends, and then I remember and they asked me for a comment, and I went, I ain't got no fucking comment to make. But actually, furthermore, I actually do have a comment to make, because I knew there was this the sort of thing now where they're gonna try and frame someone. Maybe if the police are not trying to frame you, they're gonna do, as I spoke to you, what they use, yellow journalism is known as. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? And one of the things that I don't really like, most of my news information, I get it from your sort of podcast, Central Podcast, or Really Outside UK, or, do you know what I mean? The only news like channel that I might watch for documentaries and stuff might be Al Jazeera and maybe Channel 4, because what they're reporting is like, you can tell that. Do you know what I'm saying? But I still don't believe them, because if you got so much money and you've got an edge, and whatever people might say, people hold on to power. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you want to hold on to power, you've got to feed some sort of narrative, agenda. And I'm just talking about mainstream news in general. And I think
I like to say, I like to be informed of what I'm being misinformed. So I'll watch the mainstream media just to go, okay, what are they trying to spin with this? Why are they telling me this? And work from that, you know? But my actual stuff, I'll be.
That's interesting, isn't it? So he likes to be informed on what he's being misinformed on. It's true. I mean, the thing is, we all watch. I do anyway. I don't watch the news on the telly, but I do look at the mainstream media online and that's where you get to know some things that are going on. But yeah, you always have to sort of take them a little bit with a pinch of salt and think, what is, like he says, why are they spinning this particular? What was it? I was watching the other day some news, and I thought, God, it just how they what is it? You know, they come out with something, and you think, what is really going on that they've come out with this story now? Because often they come up with stories, and when you look into them, it's something that's happened ages ago. There was one not long ago. Who was it? Somebody. Oh, Stephen Mulhern had, not that I would call this news, to be honest, but he collapsed or something. And then when you looked into the story, it happened ages ago. It wasn't that it collapsed that day on stage or whatever. So it's like that story was sort of dragged out, maybe to hide another story or to promote the fact that the new series he's got this new TV series started with Holly Willoughby, her return to the screen, you know. So it might have been like that kind of spin or whatever. There's always, so it's interesting what he says. Yeah, you thing is, you do get news from social media and things, from mainstream media, but then you go and then you look at the social media and then, you know, you investigate a little bit, don't you, I suppose? Can't just take things blanket that they say on mainstream media or that they say anywhere. You know, there's nothing even, you know, what something I put out or what anyone puts out. You've always got to question everything, haven't you?
Be honest, it's YouTube, Twitter, or X.
100%. You've got to do your own research into things. You know what I mean? You've got to do your own. You've got to do your own like due diligence, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just believe what anyone tells you.
So you find out that Jay passes away. What's your initial thought?
It's closure now. You know what I'm saying? It's closure now. Then that's what I thought at the time, and it was like, so we weren't, because somewhere in you're saying to yourself, "Yo, I hope they find him. He maybe took some wrong turn and that." No pun intended, but just thinking like, yo, and he'll be found, and he'll be like, yo.
Yo, you know, he's just got an unfortunate way of talking, isn't he? So he said maybe he's took a wrong turn or something, no pun intended. You know, he has got an unfortunate way of talking. He just has. But anyway, yo.
Oh, fucking hell, I've lost my phone. It's the most craziest I've ended up there or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I was hoping for. So when I didn't hear that, it was sad, like, you know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know, something about, I don't know, we always accept, like, life is life, and one day your time will be over. Some will be earlier than later, but you don't expect that when it does happen around you, like, as in, like, a person that you was there, like, you seen, and then you hear, like, a month and a half later, because month later they posted my face, and then 2-3 weeks after that, it was like, you heard, like, during that they said that he was found in that. You know what I'm saying? And very, what's the word I'm looking for, bro? It's not what you want to hear in it, and I didn't want to hear that at that time. You know what I'm saying? There was something in me telling me all that time, he's gonna pop up, he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Did where he was found, was that anywhere near you were searching?
Nah, because where we were searching was in and around near my apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I was driving, and then when we was kind of like going to his location, it was like, driving is a bit faster, but
He seems to be is it just me? It's getting lower and lower down there. Sometimes my students do that when I'm doing classes. They start off sort of, you can see them, and then in the end they sort of slip off the thing, and I can't see the mouse to see what they're saying and see if they're pronouncing their Spanish properly. And I have to ask them to come back, or sometimes it's the camera that slips. But yeah, he'll have disappeared off the edge there before you know it.
from walk-wise, he was a good 20-30 minutes behind mine. You know what I'm saying? That was the last known location. You know what I'm saying? And this we're searching in the dark, so I can't really see all of these landscapes as into where he ended up going in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And do you know the place where he was found now? Like, from you
Nah. I'd get in my car and go that way. You know what I'm saying? The only time I'd ever walk that side of the mountain or drove that side is by looking for him. You know what I'm saying? But I had no reason to go that way.
And that way is what? Nothing.
So you're welcome, Julie. So Julie's one of the members. She's just received her gift, because all my paid members, if they send me an address to send it to, doesn't have to be your address. It can be a shop. It can be. It's just it has to come through Amazon. I send a copy of my book, or if you've already got a copy of my book, I'll send something else instead, relevant to Vicky Marie Chats. But you've only got till Friday to send me somewhere to send it, if you see what I'm saying. But you're welcome, Julie. Enjoy.
It is like, don't get me wrong, like, the only thing I can put it to is, the road is a winding road, and it's a small road, and it's a one-way road, but people use it as a two-way road. Because technically, if I was to search that radius to where he was going, it would take me that way down the mountain, down that road, go all the way around, and then out the other way. Do you know what I'm saying? But you would look at that and think, or just in general, people wouldn't. They know it makes more sense to.
Yeah, hey, all you lurkers out there, don't forget to leave your DNA on the like button. Lot of lurkers. Lurking's good. Lurking's good because lurkers are normally listening. Sometimes people want to listen rather than chat.
Drive this way, because a 4-hour journey turns into a 45 minutes, half an hour one if I just go this way. I get it, it's a one-way road, but you're just squeezing down that one-way road with oncoming cars. Like, I'm saying, it's mental.
Do you think that Jay was, like you said, he was texting his mates? Do you think that Jay was fleeing away from you and, being in the house?
I mean, I wouldn't say per se fleeing for me, do you know what I'm saying? Because I was just in my bed, like, do you know what I'm saying, from start, like, other than giving him a blanket and what I mentioned earlier, and pillow, and telling him that's the charger and that, and from moving my car. Anytime he was in that gaff and I was in that gaff, I was on my bed, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, if anything, when that Mark guy, the detective guy, TV detective, said to me, he had 2 knives or something along them lines. Like, I still don't know if that's even true. Do you know what I mean?
Hang on.
But I thought to myself, fucking,
Did he just say 2 knives then? So it's gone from 1 knife to 2 knives. I don't know that anyone's ever said that Jay had a knife. Well, he could have bought a knife, I suppose, in the shops in thingy, but there's no way he could have taken a knife with him on the plane, that's for sure. Now suddenly it's 2 knives. Let me just put that back a little bit.
the mountain, down that road, go all the way around and then out the other way. Do you know what I'm saying? But you would look at that and think, or just in general, people wouldn't, they know it makes more sense to drive this way because a 4-hour journey turns into a 45 minutes, half an hour one if I just go this way. I get it, it's a one-way road, but you're just squeezing down that one-way road with oncoming cars. Like, you know what I'm saying, it's mental.
Do you think that Jay was, like you said, he was texting his mates? Do you think that Jay was fleeing away from you and, being in the house?
I mean, I wouldn't say per se fleeing for me, do you know what I'm saying? Because I was just in my bed, like, do you know what I'm saying, from start, like, other than giving him a blanket and what I mentioned earlier, and pillow, and telling him that's the charger and that, and from moving my car. Anytime he was in that gaff and I was in that gaff, I was on my bed, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, if anything, when that Mark guy, the detective guy, TV detective, said to me, oh, he had 2 knives or something along them lines. Like,
it's gone from a knife to 2 knives now. Do you know? And why? How? So how does Mark know that he had a knife or 2 knives? Because he thinks he's in with the policy. There's no way the policy and National have told him that. Let's put it that way. Unless Mark's gone and bribed someone to tell him why. And I don't think. Well, he definitely. I don't care what anyone says. He won't be able to bribe the policy and National. He'd have to bribe somebody who worked at the local police station or whatever maybe. But Mark, he is such a liar. He is such a liar, I'm afraid, allegedly.
I still don't know if that's even true, do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
But I thought to myself, fucking hell, I could have been in danger. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's not forget that, do you know what I'm saying? But thank God nothing happened in that gaff per se, do you know what I'm saying? Like, or on his part or my part, do you know what I'm saying? And fleeing, or like, I don't know about anything about fleeing, but he obviously didn't want to stay there because he said he's going to go get food. But even though we had a food about an hour and 10 minutes prior to that, or hour 20 minutes, however long it was, do you know what I mean? So I could tell he didn't want to be there. But and always in my life, if someone don't want to do nothing or they don't want to be somewhere, I'm the type of guy to say, yo, bro, the door's open. Still away, go. Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not. So,
was there a?
Someone made a suggestion, and it could be maybe Jay did go back there. And Ayub is not going to say if this happened. Maybe if Jay went back there, maybe did give him some marijuana. Because I did wonder that if he might have said to Jay, because they were supposed to be going home the next day. Now, you can't take your drugs with you, that's for sure. Maybe he was said to Jay, look, I've got some stuff that, whatever it is they take. Could be anything, couldn't it? I don't know what. I don't even know what, or if. And he might have said to Jay, oh, come back and you might as well have it, because Jay was there for a bit longer, wasn't he? And Ayub and Rocky were supposed to be going home the next day, but of course they ended up staying an extra day. But he'd want to get rid of any substances that he had, because he can't take them on the plane. So that's a possibility, isn't it? Maybe Jay went back, maybe he did smoke something or try something. Maybe it was a little bit strong. Maybe he didn't feel very well. Where it's like, do you know where it's like? It comes to a point on any night out where you just want to go home, don't you? You just want to go home. I personally think that's how Jay probably felt, or maybe he got paranoid because he'd been smoking weed. Maybe he was a bit worried about Ayub for whatever reason. And now Ayub's saying that because of what Mark Williams Twonk said, that he had a knife or 2 knives, he's saying that maybe, he's glad that nothing happened the other way. Could Jay have been a danger to him? But I don't think he could. I don't think that was probably the vibe there. But I wasn't there, so I don't know. There may be more to whatever went on there back at the house, back at the Airbnb. But do you know, only Ayub knows that, and or that Rocky, if he supposedly. It's funny that nobody's really talking about Rocky. Rocky supposedly just went home and went straight to bed. But why, well, I presume he was interviewed by the police as well. But anyway, if anything did happen, or if there was any reason why Jay felt he had to go, unfortunately, Jay can't tell us now. And, Ayub and Rocky aren't going to say anything, are they?
Possibility that there could have been other people that you might not have known of, could have found out where he was and where you were staying, the same way Lucy did.
Unless Lucy told them, I don't see, or they worked it out from me Snapchat. I don't know, but that's me just going into other things that.
Mello, you're welcome. Oh, and the 2 of you that have said that you've received your... Can you send me a photo of it? Just a photo. Obviously not of you. I'm not going to dox you but I won't even... Just so that I can show it, maybe, the presents that... Because they should all the members that have sent me some sort of address should all now be starting to receive their presents, because all the ones that have been ordered are out. So... yeah, some people still, some people won't want to send an address. I understand that. But I have to have an address because, it's coming through Amazon. So I have to have an address. But I'll say it can be anywhere. Send me, do what Ayub did and send me your auntie's address. And I'll send it to her house instead. Like Ayub using his auntie's phone number for everything. So she was ending up getting the phone calls from the journalists.
I don't have definitive answers for it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to speak on something I'm not 100% sure about.
But are these have these thoughts come into your head like fucking hell, why is he there?
Bro, I get messages and on TikTok, Instagram, mentioning names that I've never heard of, saying this is a revenge attack for that. People are telling me who I've been in prison with and who I know, and I'm like, how are you telling me who I know and who I like? Do you know what I'm saying? They were saying, I've met this guy's dad who Jay's attacked in the past, and through his dad meeting him in jail. I'm like, bro, I've never been to a northern jail in my life. The most northern prison I've ever been was Leicester. You know what I'm saying?
So that's a myth.
That's a myth. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? So I get all of these names thrown at me. Do I know them? And have I got any associates with them? No, we're from different parts of the world. The only way we've ever linked up or ended up linking is because a mutual friend of both of us brought us together. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's and that's what's the most craziest part. Someone that I don't even know, to that certain extent, can literally have that much of an impact on all of our everyone's lives intertwined. You know what I'm saying? Not what is this? It's a very mad situation.
There was a talk about a boat that went off the sea. There was the talk of the beach and the videos, the videos late at night in the other town near you. These with the church and stuff. Did you look into any of them and think that was a possibility?
No, I didn't, bro, because I was watching this American kid called Joseph Morris and that old fella, yeah. And the internet is the internet. If you do your research on thingies, you find the people out. And that he was the one that was peddling all those. Someone shouted "quack quack." that might be my social media and that, but my pals and that, like, don't call me quack. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, as a joke and that between us, but in like serious situations, as that beach situation is meant to be, my mate ain't gonna be shouting, "Oi, quack." Like, do you know what I'm saying? It's not like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
And unless it's someone who knows you from Instagram, but you weren't even you wasn't posting on Instagram at that time.
no. It's this is a mate that literally knows me since young, and that's he never would call me that. Maybe there's a joke or some like banter. And
Well, it's like having we spoke about this before, about everyone's first email address being like, I don't know, Liverpool FC or Tupac for life. It's like that's like him putting that together and saying, I heard him say tupacforlife.com, and you're like, well, that's not my name, bro.
Yeah, I know what you mean, bro. And I've seen this guy, like, and I'll mention his name because I've actually, like, these people need to be warned off the internet, and people need to be warned off like them, because for a bit of money, like a bit of likes and a bit of thingy, there was sensationalized things that literally don't mean nothing, don't like ain't.
Yeah, and whatever you think of him, that is definitely true. I mean, he could have gone on TikTok and done loads of videos and made money out of it. Well, I don't know how you make money on TikTok or YouTube, you know, because there weren't only those. There was the video of somebody stealing a bag or something on the beach, wasn't there? Then there was a video of some poor lad who they were saying was Jay, like with bruises on him and like a dog collar around his neck. There were just awful things that were coming out, and a lot of TikTokers and YouTubers and are still to this day peddling all that crap. You know, it's like, what? You know, being a YouTuber or a TikTok or whatever you are, you've got to have some principles. You know, you can't just put any old crap up there, and they're literal lies. You know, some people are actually making videos themselves, you know, putting false videos together. And note, because Jay Slater was, you know, anything at that time, anything you put up about Jay Slater would be, you know that you're going to get a lot of people watching it, interested in it. So, you know, whatever you think of Ayub, he's right with saying that. You know, you can't believe everything you see on TikTok or YouTube. You just can't. You have to do your own research. Just because someone puts a video up and then be, oh God, yeah, there's something in it. I always knew there was something in that. Oh God, I've heard all sorts of rubbish spoken about Jay Slater.
Nothing wrong with, and you will use that, and it's mad because they got people that follow them and are impressionable and watch this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like there was things I was watching the other day. Lady on TikTok was saying, "We've come back, and from my car, we bundled him into another car." Furthermore, if you don't mind me showing you that video where,
oh, here we go. Oh, so this is the video. This is Tupac. Is that Rocky?
Headshot. He looks like someone done a hit.
you know what I'm saying? He's saying, "Oh, that's that 2 bottles of Henny that lad." Like,
let's watch that. So this is the video of Rocky in the back who's passed out, and I think that must be Jay's voice, is it then, that you can hear? Let me just, sorry, you probably have to listen to, I don't know exactly where it was, but I'll put it back a bit. So that's important. I've not seen that before.
Like, ain't nothing wrong with, and you will use that, and it's mad because they got people that follow them and are impressionable and watch this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like there was things I was watching the other day. Lady on TikTok was saying, "We've come back, and from my car, we bundled him into another car." Furthermore, if you don't mind me showing you that video where
Yeah.
2 bottles there. That one.
Headshot. He looks like someone done a hit.
This was
know what I'm saying? He's saying, "Oh, that's that 2 bottles of Henny that lad." Like,
And where is that to?
that's outside, literally the building in Masca.
Well, just for anyone else, just I can clarify that, like, because you might cover his face and you go, "Oh, how do we know that's not someone else, or that wasn't Jay?" Or so yeah,
You've seen him, yeah, and that was. I mean, and you know what's funny, like, and that's like literally right outside the building where
outside the villa. Or,
yeah, outside. It's not really a villa; it's more like a cottage, but that's literally outside of it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's where I parked my car, and that's where they told me to move it. The next day, they told me, "Oh, move your car from there." But apparently, someone who's got loads of followers on TikTok, and most of these people are following them because of this whole situation. I've had people message me say, "Oh, that's the person who made 50K from the lives they were doing."
of course,
That person, yeah, do you know what I mean, and shit like that. And so these people that, all right, cool, the thing's kind of fizzled out now. They're like, authorities have said, look, he's fallen, and the evidence leads to that. But now they're saying, I bundled him into a car when we landed, and there was 7 of us and shit like that. You just saw that there, right, in video, bro. And I've had this video all the time, but I don't feel like Macy, bro. I need to explain myself to anyone, like, in unless it's like, not in what's the word I'm looking for? Like, whether they believe me or they don't, it's no skin off my nose, bro.
yeah, that was the one thing you said to me at the very beginning when we spoke. Is like, you know, I will do it, but to be honest, like, I ain't even bothered if I don't do it, because, you know, I know in my heart of hearts, that was like the conversation.
Yeah, do you know what I'm saying, bro? It was, and that's, and I'm happy you say that, because it just shows my views and my intentions were the same then, and they still are now. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, no one's saying I'm perfect or anything, but I will stand on my words. You know what I'm saying? You've got your words and your words in this world.
I obviously don't want to give anyone like the limelight, but I will probably, just before we finish as well, just talk about some of the platforms that have probably monetized off this. People would say I'm monetizing. Well, people would say I'm monetizing off this now because of this, but you know, this is, you know, if that was the case, I could have started from the get-go and said, I know Ayub and this and this and it. Like, no, this is just an interview we're trying to do. Number one, to get the truth, and also to get your side of the story. We've done a lot of cases on the Central Club of people who have been to jail, and they, you know, it was, they were wrongly convicted. We've also had people who have been portrayed in their field as, you know, labeled as whatever, and never been able to have their say. So this is why we've done this. Okay. So next bit, 2 kind of things that conspiracies that people have spoke about, and after Jay's pronunciation of him, you know, being pronounced dead. Sorry. Rest in peace to him. There was a video of an Irish fella. I don't know his name. We have the video of Jay being tortured, they said, and it tied into, well, people were tying it in, the armchair detectives, the hills have eyes, and there's another photo of you doing the
armchair detectives. I hope you don't mean me there. No, I know you don't mean me, because I'm not an armchair detective by any way, shape or form. You know, to me, it's only, I only want to talk about facts. That's why I'm really enjoying this interview with Ayub, because he was there. Now, you either believe him or you don't believe him with what he's saying. But at the end of the day, it's better to listen to what he's saying than to listen what some TikToker says happened or whatever. You know, he's having his say. And I like this podcast, this interview, because he's very gentle the way he interviews. You know, if people can't see that, if he was going, well, you know, did you sort of put Jay in the boot of the car, or you're lying, aren't you, or whatever, Ayub wouldn't be there even talking to him. He's gentle the way he interviews him, but he still asks the right questions, I think, anyway. So I think it's been a really good interview.
See no evil, he no evil. Quickly, who are the people who was that with you in the photo? When was it? And can you shed any light on that video?
Yeah, that was like the day I landed. It was like the day I got that Airbnb. Do you know what I'm saying? It was like 3 days before any of these NRG events started. Those are like my pals that were there at the time that I met over there as well, and they ain't got nothing to do with things. Do you know what I mean? And with the whole, like, I'm wearing a hoodie because it's cold. We're in the mountains, bro. And then my pal is just doing his hair because the wind is like, this is high up, innit? The wind's doing his hair. And then the other third one, he was just lighting their thingy, a zoot. So they've put it that as, I've got a hoodie on saying hear no evil. He's got he's doing this, like, means see no evil. And then the other one is like, do you know what I'm saying? You can make,
I'm just having, because it's true. You could, honestly, I could post a picture on here, and if somebody was suspicious of me, that was suspected of something, someone could make something of it. We've seen that with this Sebastian Rogers at the Texas Roadhouse. You know, Katie wiping her hand on a napkin, and people are saying, "Oh, it's a signal. It's a signal." She was doing something. She was looking for someone, and that wiping her hand on a napkin was a signal. Oh my God. You know, if you sat and videoed anyone eating their dinner, like, you know, there'd be things that they were doing. If you were looking for something strange, you would find something. Or not even strange, is it, to wipe your hand on a napkin? But, you know, when people want to find something, they will find it. It's just crazy.
a video look, you can screenshot a video at a certain point and make it look like, do you know what I'm saying? And this is what, coming back to media and stuff like that, it might be on a smaller scale, but you can tell.
What? So are you telling me that was a video?
That was a video on my Instagram. That's an Instagram video that on my AR post.
So it's not photo.
That all on the 20th. No, it's not photo. It's not photo. You know what I mean? It's not photo. That it's a video. You know what I'm saying? Like, I took that picture on the 14th, but I posted it on the 21st with all my rest of my birthday week photos. Do you know what I'm saying? So don't mean because I posted it on the 21st, it's happened on the 21st. Do you know what I'm saying?
And the person seeing these videos, you just think he's talking rubbish as well?
Yeah, bro, the only person who's spoken about it and hasn't really, do you know what I mean? Even like, you'd think reputable podcast like that, True Georgie. He's not a true Georgie. He might as well call him True Georgie. But people like that is just coming for me for no reason with their meathead and that, bro. And then talk to me about that they know me and that. And then he got like loads of views on it that day. And you know what I'm saying? And it was like his first 1 million in like a good couple of months. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's obviously, and people like that. And
I don't even know True Georgia, so you know, that's what I was saying. It's like, you know, the YouTube world is so big with so many channels. You're literally just a speck of dust in the universe when you're a small channel. But I don't know who True Georgie is, but it sounds like True Georgie, like so many other channels. You know, the thing is, you put a video with a thumbnail, Ayub lied. That's all you have to say to get a load of views in, or Jay was on the boat. You don't, you know, there's a lot. If you, the clickbait is just easy to make. If you've got no principles, I just couldn't do that. I couldn't do it because I don't believe it. I don't believe the conspiracy theories. I don't think there's any basis in them. In you know, if there was some evidence of it, you know, if there was something official that came out, but you could just say anything, really, can't you? You know, and lots of YouTubers and TikTokers, they do, and it's all, oh my God, you know, Katie at the Texas Roadhouse, or, you know, Jen Soto, I call bullshit, or, you know, there's no basis in these are just opinions and just clickbait. titles. That I don't like that way of. I just can't do it. You know, I mean, you want people to watch your videos, but you want to have some principles. That, you know, you've got to sleep at night. I don't know if Ayub, you know, he's had a checkered past, as you say, Annie. That's why people are dubious about him. He probably isn't a saint. Maybe he does get up to stuff. I don't know, but that's still not an excuse for making things up about him. Downright lies.
And names that are not known like that, and I don't want to start plugging them when I'm here and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I might say and then just watch like how ridiculous the videos are into like thingy. But it was funny because they were saying shit like, they know guys like me and what I'm on, and I'm putting people on to work and that. But the same person that was saying that, I found a video of him saying those exact words as to saying he gets people and gets them to graft on county lines on his music lyrics in black and white. Do you know what I'm saying? And then after that, they have kind of sort of left me alone because they thought, yo, this guy is not actually some sort of pushover. Like, he is actually refusing to be put in that foreign suspect bracket. And every month there is a foreign suspect. Some too rightly so. Don't get me wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like there's all sorts of suspects. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say, there's only a foreign suspect, but foreign suspects is kind of gets more attention because you think, all right, cool, we've already got our headache and our own crime and our own criminals. Do you know what I'm saying? So who the fuck's this guy come out of nowhere and he's causing more trouble on top of it? Do you know what I'm saying? I get it. I get the foreign suspect narrative, but only use it if the guy is actually the suspect.
But like, I understand where you're coming from, bro, because, you know, people, it is the face that fits, unfortunately. And, you know, if it's wrong, it's wrong. But if it ain't and you're unsure, don't
be like, so sorry guys, I can't be a foreign suspect.
Don't clutch at straws, basically, innit? You said at the beginning, and you just mentioned the True Geordie bit, so we've got to mention it. So one of the conspiracies that I've heard most recently, and you brought up, was that you tried to rape Jay.
Oh my God.
So the first obvious question I'm going to ask you is, are you gay?
Hell to the motherfucking Angera, no.
This is, you know, is this what people, well, for people to say this is what they must think?
I mean, yeah, like, obviously, like, we're talking about TikTok people here and that. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? We're talking about TikTok people that don't know me and that. I kind of, in a way, find that an insult, in a way, because I think only if they knew the amount of graft I'll put into certain girls at the beach club, and we're like, do you know what I'm saying? That, like, part of mad graft I'm putting in, for you to call me gay, I'll see that as not you, but for them to call me gay, I'll see that as an insult. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we'd be sweating sometimes. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. But they're mad grafts on some girls. Do you know what I'm saying? But obviously that is like even with the girls and that, like, I've kind of like chilled out with that, because we live in a mad society, bro, where they'll encourage promiscuity and they will encourage all sort of like madnesses and that. And Salahuddin said it, bro. So, like, he's like a Kurdish guy, like, who's like a Muslim, like, army guy. Do you know what I'm saying? From history. And he said the best way you want to destroy a people or a nation, make sexuality and everything very prominent amongst their young. Do you know what I'm saying?
What? Hang on a minute. Where is this going? Oh my God. So, right. So, reset. Okay. Well, we'll carry on listening, but Ayub, I don't know where Ayub's going here at all.
Like, that's like, he said that, like, do you know what I mean? And that's if you want to, and that's without using war, mate.
So yeah, this
like he had his head in his hands there. He must have been thinking, oh my God, I'm surprised he didn't cut that out. But I suppose he's left it in because that's what he said. I wasn't expecting that to come at the end of this video. I have never even heard that rumour either. Is that what True Geordie said? The one who tells the truth, Sue? Is that what he said?
Gangbang theory or this rape
Oh my God.
theory. That's offended you, yeah?
No, I mean, yeah, but all of it comes down to, again, they don't know me, bro. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really shocked as to what they say. Like,
Well, to be honest, it would offend you, not because of the being gay bit, but the fact that he was, if they're trying to insinuate they actually might have RA or wanted to RAPE Jay, well, that would offend you, wouldn't it? Where, you know, whether you were gay or not, you wouldn't be happy about that. But you know, I don't know about Ayub. I think he's like, well, like what we were talking about earlier, I think he probably did try and get off with those girls, and he probably doesn't have as much luck with women as he wishes that he would have. But now he's brought in that other thing, and that you think, where is he going with that? Ayub, where are you going with that? What you're trying to say? You're not doing yourself any favors there, that's for sure.
they don't really know me. Really know me, though.
Okay, then. Well, there's a bit of highlight, a bit of interaction from the community. Let's say, it's not a positive community. Obviously, it's on tragic circumstances, but nonetheless, I felt like it was only right to get some of these people to put their questions in. Now, guys, there was loads, and I want to say a big thank you to everyone who commented. And I'll be honest, the majority of them were meaningful questions. They wasn't questions where people were trying to be silly. I think they were genuinely trying to just get an understanding. Now,
Yeah, that's a bit. God, I'm still in shock about the end there. I am still in shock. But anyway,
I can't answer all of them because we're strapped for time, and also there's just too many to go through, so we've just randomly picked them. Okay, so the first one's from a person called Melanie. She says, a lot can change in someone in 10 years. I think it's funny he's willing to do it now with the inquest coming in January. Why not wait and clear any involvement then?
So that question's basically, why didn't he say anything then? But he's popped up now. Well, to answer to that question, it was a sensitive time at the start then. And I'm not going to be coming on anything talking about anyone, especially when we don't even know is the lad alive, is he passed away. No one knew none of this information at the time. Do you know what I'm saying? And then when we did find out, I'm not gonna come and do a thingy straight. Do you know what I mean? I thought, let him be buried in the ground first before, like, do you know what I'm saying, comfortably, let the family grieve in their own time. They don't need to see my face and that anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? Talking about this and that. And then lastly, on the inquest, I don't even know what date the inquest or any of this is. And this is the first I've heard of it from this question. Do you know what I'm saying? So, no one's thinking about no inquest has into doing this thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
what?
Next one from Rara. Why didn't he drop Jay to his hotel and the staff could have let him in the room?
Well, he said to me, yo, can I come back with you lot? And then when someone says, can I come back with you lot? He's already initiated it. Like, yo, I'm cool. I don't know where his hotel is. Do you know what I'm saying? For all I know it was in Los Cristianos, which I know is up the road, but that way. But I'm going to Masca, which is that way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if people know Tenerife, that TF1 motor, and you're coming from Playa Americas, Cristianos is that way and Masca is that way. And he never asked me to drop him off. And like I said, I was going to stay longer as I was waiting for a friend of mine. But my mate is falling asleep and saying, yo, we need to go now. So I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I already can't wait for my mate to come out. So what makes you think I'm going to drop anyone off the opposite direction?
Someone called Scoob says, could you ask him who is Ishmael?
I know about 100 Ishmaels, Scoop, mate. So I'm saying, I don't know. But I don't know an Ishmael in Tenerife, if that's what.
Relating, yeah.
Who is Ishmael? I mean, it's a bit of a daft question, isn't it, really? Because it is a common name, I would imagine. But Anyway, so there's obviously a reason why they're asking that.
Curry Akin. Who else went to the Airbnb that morning? It was there half an hour. CCTV picked it up, so we can't deny it.
Yeah, this is apparently the car where I bundled Jay from my car to that car. Can they if they can show me and that, then I can thingy. But the only people that was there was me, Rocky, and Jay, as I explained, and then any other party that was near enough around that area was Ophelia, her husband, and the third guy that was with them, whoever he's, their son or their farm worker. I ain't got a clue.
Okay. L, please ask him why his story
God, it's like it's all coming at the end here now, isn't it? Coming out.
has constantly changed.
Well, it hasn't changed. If it has changed, you lot are nitpicking. You may be looking at a word that I used maybe different to the one before, or I might have said he's standing 5 centimeters to the left more than but the other one I said he was 5 centimeters to the right. Irrelevant things like that, they might say change in that, and that's probably because I don't remember little things like that. But as a whole, and as a
Yeah, his memory's not the best, is he? He's probably, but oh God, I don't know. I'm a bit speechless over this last 15 minutes.
thingy, my story's been the same. Do you know what I'm saying?
Nick Coward, nice name. Jay was never at the Airbnb. I think something happened at the beach.
Well, I don't know how to answer that. I'll just show the video of him, me, him, and we're at the Airbnb. You know what I'm saying? We're right outside it. You know what I'm saying? And that beach thingy, then I don't know. That's the same place where that American guy with the bald head I was telling you. And I mentioned him because he's actually been put on YouTube to be known fake news peddler. He's been put on that. Do you know what I mean? So I can't answer that because that beach scene didn't even probably happen.
Open your mind. Who told him that Jay was lying in a ditch? And what time was that?
It's either my pal that I knew him from or Lucy when she arrived by at 1 p.m., 12 a.m., 1 p.m. times. You know what I'm saying? 12 p.m. times, sorry. See, like now, I said 12 a.m., 12 p.m. They'll be like, oh, he's changed from 12 p.m. to a.m. What's going on? Do you know what I mean, bro? So that's the thing that I'm dealing with. Go on.
This was from someone called Truth Seeker. I had lots of questions off this person, so I'm just going to give one. Apologies. You know, to be honest, you're lucky you got one because, like I said, there's loads of people who have asked. So, so she said, also, sorry, lastly, why did he lie about just him and Rocky and Jay being in the car? We know it was 7 people. Who are they? And why did you lie about Lucy?
What did I lie about Lucy?
What is this about 7 people being in the car? Why would she say we know there are 7 people in the car? Has anyone seen anything about that? I don't think I've ever that's something that I've ever heard.
About not knowing her properly. That's not a lie. I don't know her properly, and I still don't know her properly. Do you know what I mean? So that's not a lie. And I just showed you a video with one person in the car, and like you can't see who's behind the camera, but you can hear me and Jay. And why is the all other 4 quiet, silent? Do you know what I'm saying? Or why they're not moving about near and like, do you know what I mean? So that's like you don't know. So stop saying we know. And if you do know, I want camera footage evidence of me and these 7 people, do you know what I'm saying, going in a car together. I was driving a Cupra, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's a 5-seater. I don't know where these 7 come from, but that's the answer to that question from a truth seeker. He's seeking the truth, all the wrong places, love. Go on.
Someone here has said, why has he made mocking videos?
And I made mocking videos not of family or Jay or his friends. I made mocking videos as in like, look guys, I won't be your foreign suspect this month. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you try to come for me and try and make me that one, I'll flip it around and mock mock, and troll until you say, "Oh, mate, look, all right, stop, let's chill out." No, I was only joking. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, then. So the next question. It's getting a bit hot in here. All right. So the next question I got is from Jojo Dean. Can you ask Ayub if he believes Jay climbed out of the ditch he was stuck in and then walked off to the edge of the mountain? Genuine question. That's what we are told and expected to believe. It's bullshit.
Well, genuine answer. I can't speak on anything that I weren't there myself to witness. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say, "Oh, this, that, and that, and this." Do you know what I'm saying? I wasn't there to see it, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? And if I ain't got information about something myself, full hand or second hand, and it makes sense, and it's coming from a reputable source, I'm not gonna speak on it. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know, like, how he got out of what ditch and how he went to the edge. And do you know what I'm saying? I said it earlier in the conversation. I don't even know if someone pushed him or not. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't know who's in that wilderness. Do you get what I'm saying? I never said like, "Oh, it's 100% an accident" or "it's 100% that." I can't say that to you myself. I can't look at you and say, "Oh, 100% is that," because I wasn't there. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? I wasn't there to see him get into an accident or how he got into it or what ditch he walked out from or what ditch he went into. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think from your perspective as someone who's been in the firing line in this, you were going to have that standpoint of, look, I can't speak on this because I don't know. I think what a lot of these people are hoping is, what is your theory? Like, what are you thinking? Do you think?
Yeah. What do you think? And I like on evidence wise, and you got to go on evidence. I think he must have like gone round the wrong way and possibly could have fell. Do you know what I'm saying? And I say possibly because I don't know, because I still find it hard to comprehend. How do you just fall off a side of somewhere? Do you know what I'm saying? What? Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I can understand where questions are coming from and thinking in that, but I genuinely don't know what happened from when I shut my door at that 8 in the morning or whatever time it was, and then 12 p.m., 1 p.m. till Lucy knocked the buzz. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can't speak on anything between those hours because I was in deep sleep. Maybe when I woke up for a bit for like a 10-second phone call as to say, "Yo, your man's gone missing," and me thinking, "Bro, I already offered him a lift. Now you're telling me he's gone missing." But like, I could safe, like, I'm going back to bed, like because you get annoyed in them sort of situations because you think, "Yo, I tried to give you a lift." Do you know what I mean? No, you got no, like, do you know what I mean? You just like, "I told you so." You get one of those "I told you so" moments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're saying, are you? I think, so I've got nothing to say.
And, in terms of the questions, like, that's all we have time for. I really appreciate you asking those questions. Do you want to answer any that, like, is there anything that you want to, say on the matter of what people have said or anything you'd like to clear up?
Oh, well, I've mentioned it all, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, all like they've said all mad stuff, like I am them or I've done some stuff and that, like that. Yo, because you think like that, not as in you, but the people accusing me of these things, because you think like that, don't mean I think like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I can chill with people and not make it into some weird situation and that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I find it weird and that people actually think like that. Do you know what I'm saying? So that I find that weird. I find most bits weird and strange and like, wow, you have got thingy. But my main thing that I was gonna say is, sorry I couldn't be your foreign suspect. Do you know what I'm saying? I apologize. It's not me, like, for this whole situation. Do you know what I'm saying? So apologies for that. You know what I'm saying? But that's like my thingy on that, and then going forward as well, I hope his family and that, and whatever difficulties they're going through, they block out all this outside noise and they link hands, and because you got what I mean, from like inside, like from like being inside, it has ruined people's relationships, like, you know what I'm saying, as in like everyone that, like, you know what I'm saying, it has like, you got to remember, because everyone that's been involved in this got families, they've got people that watch towards them and shit like that, so you never know like what the arguments they're having in-house because of all of this stuff. And people do forget that. So when they like thinking, yeah, I'm waiting for that next viral video, I want that next like, I want that next star, just remember, yo, there is people behind this, and there is people affected by this. So have a bit of respect, have a bit of compassion, and to the people that are actually following this story and that, just do a bit of critical thinking yourself, like, you know what I'm saying? Actually sit back and think. So to be fair, some people have got in contact and said, mate, some of these people, what they're saying is bullshit, bro. It don't even make no sense. And that's people that...
Well, I mean, I do think a load of it is bullshit. And of course, the other thing we've got to remember is, I don't think Ayub's just done himself any favours in the last 10, 15 minutes of this interview, but people weren't only nasty to Ayub either. I mean, my main thing is the way they were to Debbie and the family and the GoFundMe and this, that and the other. You know, I think Ayub is probably, you know, he looks like he's coping okay with all this. He's just sort of blocking it out and doing his own thing, you know, and he's... but, you know, what... to a mother who's not only lost her son, but then she had to take all that hate and everything from people. And because these people that do say these horrible things about Ayub also are saying horrible things about Debbie. All the TikTok videos and the conspiracy theories, they'd be hurt. You know, if that was your son and you had to hear all these things, well, you'd want to know the truth, of course, but you'd want to know the truth. You wouldn't want to hear all these horrible sort of rumours and things about him, and, you know, phoning her up and saying he'd been kidnapped and asking for a ransom, and, you know, saying he was in that sex dungeon. And now this is something saying that they're saying now that he's been RAPED'd or something. You know, for the thought of if that was me and it was my son, or if I'm sure if it was any of you with your son or daughter or whatever, imagine having to sort of wade through all that.
Actually sit back and do a bit of critical thinking themselves. You know what I'm saying? You go a far place thinking clearly, bro. So that's like my last words on that. And I'd like to thank you for having me on here, bro. Like, it's been a few years and that, but it's been all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's been an eventful interview, a few mad questions and that, but I think I handled it sweet. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, but that's the good thing about it, because that's the sort of thing sometimes that, you know, in this world, like, you get in situations where, boom, something pops up, but if you genuine about things and everything is sweet, you've got to answer the same way you answered 6 months ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. Yeah, maybe you might change by 5 centimeters because fucking hell, not everyone remembers everything, but there's no stories changing on this side of the town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like this, like, thank you for coming on. That was the one thing I was going to ask. Like, you know, do you have anything to say about the family? And you've already said it, mate.
And they've always been like forefront. It's like, and my power has been in contact and said they do want to speak. So in my own time, hopefully I'll like, because like, how do you speak to someone's family that?
Oh, I'm glad he's saying this. So, because, yeah, this is to me, that'd be the first thing I'd want to do is speak to this guy. That was my son. First thing I want to do is sit down with this guy, not only him, the other one, Rocky, and just, you know, talk about that last night, because, well, you would, wouldn't you? You'd want to know. So we'll see. Maybe that'll happen in the future. Maybe it's too raw at the moment. Though to me, I would have done that by now. I would have wanted to. I know I would, because that's the sort of person I am. If I don't know if he would have agreed to it or not, but I can tell you now, if that was me, I would have, and he would have agreed to it. I would have already spoken to him, because I would have had to. That would have been probably the first thing that I would have tried to do as soon as I found out who he was.
Like, you don't even know their son that well.
Yeah.
I think that's it as well. So something, you know, he didn't know. It wasn't like he knew Jay through somebody else. I think Ayub feels really guilty, and he probably feels guilty that he didn't make Jay go home with him in the car, you know, take a lift off him or check up on him more or whatever. You know, I think that's probably going through his head, to be honest. He's got to cope with that. Oh, where's the sound gone? That's not me who's turned the sound down.
As in, like, everyone that, like, do you know what I'm saying? It has, like, you got to remember, because everyone that's been involved in this got families. They've got people that watch towards them and shit like that. So you never know, like, what the arguments they're having in-house because of all of this stuff. And people do forget that. So when they, like, thinking, yeah, I'm waiting for that next viral video, I want that next like, I want that next star, just remember, yo, there is people behind this, and there is people affected by it. So have a bit of respect, have a bit of compassion, and to the people that are actually following this story and that, just do a bit of critical thinking yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Actually sit back and think. So to be fair, some people I've got in contact and said, mate, some of these people, what they're saying is bullshit, bro. It don't even make no sense. And that's people that actually sit back and do a bit of critical thinking themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? You go a far place thinking clearly, bro. So that's like my last words on that. And I'd like to thank you for having me on here, bro. Like, it's been a few years and that, but it's been all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's been an eventful interview, few mad questions and that, but I think I handled it sweet. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, but that's the good thing about it, because that's the sort of thing
he thinks he handled it sweet. Well, not all of it, Ayub. I don't think he did. But anyway, that's what he thinks. Bless him.
sometimes, like, you know, in this world, like, you get in situations where, boom, something pops up, but if you genuine about things and everything is sweet, you've got to answer the same way you answered 6 months ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. Yeah, maybe you might change by 5 centimeters because fucking hell, not everyone remembers everything, but there's no stories changing on this side of the town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like this, like, thank you for coming on. That was the one thing I was going to ask. Like, you know, do you have anything to say about the family? And you've already said it, mate.
And they've always been like forefront. It's like, and my pal has been in contact and said they do want to speak. So in my own time, hopefully I'll, like, because, like, how do you speak to someone's family that, like, you don't even know their son that well?
Yeah.
Sound's gone off. Maybe God knows what he was saying there. He's probably said some, you know, he's a bit low on self-monitoring, is Ayub. That's not me who's got the sound turned down there.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You know, yeah, it's been years, unfortunately, under sad circumstances, but, like, I really appreciate you coming on and you know, telling us your side of the story.
Okay, I think that's about it. Let's just listen it to the end.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what people will think about this, but I like to think they could take a lot from this, a lot of positives, I'd like to think, and you know, hopefully people will kind of tone down these, because there is victims in this, isn't there? You know, and
100%, bro.
yeah,
and it's always good to, because the same people that are doing this, write the abuse, lies, and so are the same people that will write #be kind. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, I've seen that. Oh, there are people all over their Facebooks and this, that, oh, be kind, this, that, and the other. And they're the one, but then they're spreading all this shit around. It's really weird how people have such double standards. You know, be kind all over their Facebook or whatever, and then they're accusing Debbie, Jay's mum, of God knows what.
It's a very contradicting, right? You know what I'm saying? Very contradicting. But like I said, I feel like I've said my piece, and we've done it at a right time, and hopefully I've been respectful in all my words and that. You know what I'm saying? And the way I've said things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to offend no one, and I wouldn't offend no one. I only got problems with people that got problems with me. You know what I'm saying? And once that problem's sorted out, me and that person ain't got no problems no more. You know what I'm saying? No point dwelling onto things. And just for everyone going for, even just the viewers and that, whatever you want to do in this world, just fucking do it, man.
Thank you very much for coming on, bro. No, I really appreciate this. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you want to...
Well, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good podcast. And he's a really good interview because I'll tell you what, he listens. There's so many people out there in this world, and I've seen it, from teaching. The people that learn Spanish, that do well in their Spanish classes and end up learning Spanish, they know how to listen. So many people just don't listen. They literally do not listen. As I'm talking about in classes. I've had loads of students over the years, thousands of students, and some have learnt Spanish really well. Some can't learn or don't only come for a few classes and then they give up because they think that learning Spanish is something that happens overnight, because they've got no idea what it's like to learn a language. But also the main thing for people who don't learn is they don't listen. And this podcaster is really good at listening. So as I say, millions of students, well, not millions, probably thousands of students that have come through my doors to learn Spanish or English. The ones that learn are the ones that listen. The ones that ask you a question, then as you're actually answering that question, they're asking you another one. They're let's say, he's blah, 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 blah. So you go, and you get through to about the second word and they start asking you another question. So they're not even listening to your first answer to the question. And honestly, sometimes I've just sat there and just looked at them in the end. And then eventually they realise I'm not speaking. And they look at me and they go, what? Like that. And I say, I'll just wait until you'd finished asking your questions before I started trying to answer them. Honestly, so many people just don't know how to listen. It's incredible. And this guy knows how to listen. That's how he got quite a lot out of Ayub. But he does it. Doesn't do it in an aggressive way, does he? He does it in a way where he sits back. Then he asks the difficult questions, but he asks them in a way, he doesn't ask them in a sort of an aggressive way, if that makes sense. I really enjoyed his interviewing style. Because the thing is, when you're interviewing someone, obviously, it's not about you talking. You want to hear what they're saying, so sitting back sometimes as well. I've had to sort of learn that as a teacher because it's like if I've got someone in class and they're waiting for me to say something in Spanish. Well, I know how to speak Spanish, so I don't have to practice my Spanish. So my job is to get them to speak Spanish. And that's difficult in the beginning. And then as time goes on, they'll start, sometimes people will say to me, okay, let's speak in Spanish. And I go, oh, okay. But they haven't learned any yet. So that's the other thing. They can't do that right from the beginning. So they've got to learn a little bit of Spanish before they can start speaking in it. And then they sort of click onto that and they realise they can't. But then once they've started learning a little bit and they can put, that's how my method of teaching Spanish works. Putting questions together, bit by bit, putting things together, because you don't learn it overnight. It takes ages. When you see these books, Spanish in 3 months, or, it's a load of rubbish. It's a it's like clickbait, it's just rubbish. You can't learn Spanish in 3 months. You can learn some Spanish in 3 months. You can learn some Spanish in 4 weeks, or even in your first class, you'll learn something, but it takes longer than 3 months to learn to speak Spanish. So, yeah, I think he'd be a good teacher, this guy, because he sits back and listens. It gave him a chance to speak and say, even when sometimes he probably felt, I bet he was thinking, oh my God, especially that about the gay thing and that. But, he just gave him a chance, and he said, we've got more of an idea now about Ayub. Thank you, Nick. Hi. Hello. Oh, you're saying hello and goodbye. Well, it wasn't only Ophelia, though, Annie, I don't think, was it? It was her husband. Who were the couple that came and asked them to move the car? It was a man, a woman, and a younger guy. So they saw, I don't know. I mean, don't forget the police have investigated all this. So you might, the police will know Ophelia, because she lives there in that village. It'd be like this village where I live. Everyone will know everyone. So the local police from that area, they will know Ophelia. So unless you believe that Ophelia is, some sort of in on everything as well, that they're all in on it together, to me, that's too much of a stretch. Doesn't make sense, at all. And, I know what these little places are like where not many people live. Some car turning up there with 7 people in it at sort of 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever time it was, it would get noticed. In those villages, everybody knows everything that's going on. There's not many places up there. There's not many, many houses, but there's a couple. So the houses that there are, they'll be taking notice of what's going on. That's what I think. I think it's too much of a stretch, but do you know what? I don't know, because I wasn't there. So who knows? So maybe one day something different will come out. But anyway, I hope you found that interesting. I think whatever your views are, you would find that interview interesting, if nothing else. And it's interesting to see, Ayub talking more freely with someone that he trusts. So, yeah, hopefully you found it interesting. Right, I'm off. I'm going to bed. That's what I'm going to do, because it's only 9:45, but that's really my bedtime. So I want to say thanks again to this podcaster for giving me permission to use the podcast, for us to comment on the podcast. And I want to thank you all for being in the chat and for watching it and for being respectful, even whatever your view is. And I'll see you really soon in the next video. And which will be tomorrow, I'm sure. And thank you so much. Oh, and may your God go with you. Bye.